Welcome to Retro MX Reviews. Today we're going to do something a little different since we're living in quarantine land, and some of the bike reviews I was hoping to get together this spring are going to be pushed back for a while. So I thought it might be cool to take a modern bike and the old 500 and kind of do a lap time shootout. Same rider, same track, same day, just to kind of get a feel for what the difference is in lap times and how they feel different on the track. I know there's always these questions about how do the old bikes stack up? Are they really that bad? Things like that. And usually whenever people ride older bikes, they get a kick out of it because they are a lot of fun. So kind of level the playing field here. This is Strawberry Hill MX in South Carolina. It's one of the older tracks, actually, older tracks in the state. It goes back to '74, which is very cool. The layout, it's not a vintage layout, but it's a natural terrain layout, and it doesn't have any really big hits, so that's going to cut down on some of the advantages that the modern bike has. So I just don't go for big hits on the 500. So I'm going to go out, do some laps. Now I want to do a quick walk around too, to just kind of look at all the evolution that's taken place. From 100 feet away, you see a dirt bike is a dirt bike, but when you get up close, you really get a good feel for how much refinement has taken place if you actually look at them side by side. So I thought it might be cool to do that. So let's kind of do a little comparison, and then we'll go out and do some laps. And then we'll get some lap times and see how it stacks up. So I think it's pretty safe to say that both of these bikes are really at the top of their food chain for their eras. This is a 17 KTM. It has all the bells and whistles that a new one has. Just a few refinements in the last couple years, but same basic bike. So to start off with the two, funny thing, almost the same horsepower. 58 for the KTM, and the CR's in that 58 to 60 range. They say I've never seen a great solid dyno number because people always modify them and stuff, but pretty close. The weight's also close. The KTM's 223 and the CR is reported at 235, which I would like to point out is actually lighter than a new CRF 450. Starting at the front, this was the first year of the cartridge forks, which means they have valving inside of them in addition to springs. KTM air forks has all your air cartridge on one side and your valving and everything in the other, so it makes it a lot lighter. It reduces all this redundant components. 21-inch front wheels, much bigger rotor on the KTM, but dual piston caliper, fairly normal. Then you move on to the layout, which of course significantly flatter on the KTM versus the old CR. Aluminum handlebars, aluminum crossbarless handlebars. Rubber mounts, and then you get into all the gadgets that the KTM has, your launch control, traction control, mapping, and this CR has kill switch. And then the other big advantage is the e-start on the KTM versus the most awkward kickstart lever ever designed on a motocross bike that I've owned. The thing is terrible. Two-stroke, big fat exhaust pipe. Four-stroke, small exhaust pipe, but with a resonance chamber. Obviously a four-stroke motor versus a two-stroke motor. Fuel injected, carbureted. This is the remote reservoir, so it has this little hose here connecting it. Adjustable compression damping. Here's with the KTM's, the piggyback reservoir, and you have adjustable high and low speed damping and then rebound. Drum brake rear, disc brake rear, which Honda went to that in '87. They moved on to their first discs. They all have big old mufflers. And I think that really covers a lot of it. The KTM, I'm not trying to be a brochure for KTM, but you can pull that airbox cover really easily, which is nice. So, a lot of little little changes that end up in a completely different motorcycle with the same weight and the same horsepower almost. So we're going to go out and ride them. I'm going to do a few motos. I've got my Garmin GPS that gives really good motos, so we're going to do that. And just kind of see where the lap times are. There you go. Looks like 3 to 4 seconds on a minute 25 long track. So not a super long track, but still pulling a big gap. And in some ways it's neat. At 500 still, it lays into the curves so good. But what I feel is so much more precision with the newer bike. I could just kind of drift to the inside, whereas at 500, if you're going in, you've got to plan for that. All in all, it's just funny to me. Every time I jump on these old bikes, I feel so comfortable. And I think it's just because I grew up on them, or they turn so good anyway, or just something. I feel probably more comfortable than I should. And then I get back on the modern bikes and I feel like I'm riding a spaceship. It's such a different feel. But anyway, I don't really know what we proved here other than a 30-year-old bike is slower than a new one. But at this point, there's no racing going on, and if I can't race other people, I'll just come out here and race myself. So, hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and we hope we'll get some more of our regular review content up for too much longer. All right, be safe out there.